Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest in the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, today I have Michael Greene on the line, and he's founding partner over at Armington Greene Productions. Michael, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, Michael, we got a lot to talk about today. And for everybody listening, this is part of our AFM series. That's American Film Market Series, where we bring you the best of those who attended and participated in AFM in Century City, California, or Los Angeles, California. So, Michael, just to get us kicked off here, man, your experience at AFM, talk to me. Have you been before? Is this the first time? Give me some of your backstory.
So, for me, I'm an old hat when it comes to trade shows. This was my second AFM. The first one, my partner and I went to, and we did the whirlwind in a day. And this one, I went by myself because of life changes. And the end result is I spent 3 days there and got to observe what was going on. And while it was a far busier one, there definitely was an air in the room. The young filmmakers seemed to be almost frantic. They were scrambling for a deal or hoping for, and I wasn't the only one that was feeling it. Other people I spoke to said it was a different energy this year.
Yeah. How'd you like that energy, by the way? I'm curious, because I've interviewed some of the young filmmakers and a lot of first-timers, but I did like it being in California. I like the Century City location, but what did you feel about that energy, though?
I hate to say that it was interesting to watch them running from place to place to place. And some of the seasoned pros were doing it as well, which was the confusing part. They had done no research. They hadn't figured out who they were supposed to speak to.
Yeah.
I had a woman set up a meeting with me, hoping I was going to fund her film. And I looked at her and I went, really? No.
What were you there for, by the way? What were you looking to get done at AFM? What was your goal?
I was actually looking to replace my hole for director, and we have a screenplay that has been written, and I was looking for a screenwriter because I've also lost my screenwriter. So I went there for the purpose of bodies and connections and less to sell, but I still managed to sell. So, okay, and let's see what happens. The end result is, yes, I was surprised that this person who's been in the industry for 20 years didn't know how to use the internet to figure out that I'm on the production side. I'm looking for money, too.
Yeah. Did you go to the last one that was in Vegas? Or is that, you mentioned you've been to them before. Have you been to the one in Vegas before? Is that the one you went to?
No, we went to the other one that was over on the pier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah, it was fun, though. I'll tell you what part I had a lot of fun with is that I don't know, I agree with you on the energy, by the way, but I enjoyed it. It was fun to watch. It was good. But a lot of them, I will say this, though, especially for the first-time filmmakers or the first-time attendees, I should say, some of them got it. Like, I interviewed a couple of them, and they were like, yeah, I was doing exactly what you're talking about, that type of approach. And they're like, I didn't know. They're like, I was like, man. They were like, I didn't know. I just wanted to go finally, and I've been wanting to go, and I went, and now I know what to do for next year. So I feel like year over year, you learn, different people learn different ways, you know?
Exactly, and this is why I said I'm an old hat at trade shows. You go with a purpose, and you seek the purpose. When we went the first year, we went to sell a documentary, and now it's streaming on 13 streamers. And we accomplished our goal. So it was worth the 1 day in and out. This time was about finding and building relationships. And yes, I've walked away with some very good ones. So it was productive, but it was for people with experience. We were just looking at it's like watching frantic pinballs. Okay.
Let's get a little bit into your journey and your side of things. So how'd you get into film? Like, where'd that start for you?
So I got dragged kicking and screaming into it through my wife, who was a filmmaker.
Yeah.
And she had a product that she'd been working on, and it's a very long story. You can definitely edit this part out if you want. She'd been married before, and they'd been greenlit for a PBS 2-hour special, and her first husband passed away. scuba diving off of the Anacapa Islands there. And they'd already done some preliminary filming, and it was sitting on the shelf. And we finally said, "Hon, you either take it in the backyard and burn it or do something." And so we decided to do something. And I got my editing chops and turned 12 hours of talking head interviews into an 87-minute movie that's, as I said, running on 13 streamers now. So we got through it, and I come from a business background, so I was already in the business side of film because we'd worked on distribution projects pre-actually Netflix in the streaming world. And the end result was I just kept on going. So whenever we introduced ourselves, this is my wife, Sari. She's the filmmaker. I'm the business side. Mm-hmm. And that's how I ended up in the film. And unfortunately, Sari left us on May 25th this year.
Mm. Yeah.
So.
Oh, man. Sorry to hear that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So circle back to something you said earlier for the young filmmakers. I think I missed something in that one, that especially the ones that are AFM. How do you approach this so that those that have listened to this, like, how do you approach going to a show? It doesn't have to be AFM because by the way, I've gone through the years by me doing this business, and I attend a lot of conferences, trade shows, and things like that. So I know and I'm normally there doing interviews and things like what I'm doing right now. But on your end, I'm curious, like, how do you approach it? Like, this year or any year, like, how would you approach this so that we can give some tips to those that don't know how? That's actually a good angle.
So using AFM as the functional point,
yeah.
There's a way of getting into the information. Once you've paid your admission fee, mm-hmm. your registration fee, you get access to the lists of people that are there, that have rented booths and are participating. And you go through and you start culling through looking for people. Because if you're shopping a documentary, there's absolutely no point talking to somebody who only distributes horror. Just skip over them. There might be the outside chance that they might be wanting to entertain moving into documentaries, but do that on the second or third round. Identify your first hit targets and go for them. Know exactly who it is you want. Have a short list to work on for the first day, and you must have your pitch and all your supporting documents ready to go. I mean, I'm shocked at the number of people that don't have a proper one-pager, and they're just not ready to go. I don't understand that. You're going there to represent yourself, your ideas, your company, and as that woman who booked the appointment with me to get money to fund her film, she actually looked at me and said, "How did you figure out who to go and talk to?" I said, "It's right there. It is there. It's listed on the AFM participant. You need to put the hours in to go through that alpha sort and go, do I want to talk to a company that's listed in A or F or in, and you got to do their research and see if it is that they're in that space. And if they're not in your space, don't waste the time. And then once you've figured out who your identity is, the people that you want to speak to, you've identified your targets, then actually try and do some market research on where they are. It's valuable to know who it is you're talking to, because not only are you wasting your time, you're wasting their time.
I love it, man. This is good tips. Good tips. I'm in. And I agree with you. When I go to any conference or anything else like that, and I have my team kind of researching it, we're doing it usually from the standpoint of who do we want to interview? Like, who's going to be in the room? Like, who matters? Like, what's our first string? What do we want to get done here? And having a strategy around that. That's super helpful. I want to switch up the focus a bit here, Michael. Let's get further into what you're doing over at Armington Greene Productions. So maybe talk to us a little bit about the types of films or stories that you're either developing or what you focus on. Like, what's your primary focus?
The primary focus was originally documentaries, and I'll continue to develop those even if Sari's left me. The end result is that the docs, I'm a Canadian by birth, where documentaries are ingrained in our blood. We start them in public school, and that's the way it is. And I really
Can you explain that, by the way? Can you stop there for a second? Like, what do you mean by that? I've never heard that statement.
Oh, from probably the age of 6 on, once a month we would get documentaries brought in from the National Film Board to our classroom where we watch them. I think that we still have, I live in San Francisco now, but I think we still have an active full-time documentary channel that's through CBC or CBC Gem. And documentaries are part and parcel of our culture. As one One entertainment lawyer said to me, "Do you realize that the word documentary was actually invented here in Toronto?" And I went, "No, I did not know that." So don't back. I do not know if that's the truth or not.
No, I like it. We can spread a little fake news. You heard it here first, just in case it was. It might be real, might not be, but documentaries, the Canadians are taking over. Continue, please, Mike.
Yeah. Well, it actually has a history of documentaries back to, I think it's 1919. And I'm saying that you know who the National Film Board is. And yeah, the NFB is one of the largest collectors and supporters of independent documentary makers. And it's a healthy environment up there for documentaries, and it's an excellent storytelling method. So we've got a doc about a personal journey right now, and then Sari had been working on a feature film script, which I finished off, and it's ready to go shop. And it's right in the sweet spot of today's marketplace, female protagonist, set in the Comstock Lode in the 1860s. And the woman exists against the power of the men.
I heard it. I just want to make sure I want to clarify here. So feature film sounds like it's in the future for the production company, yeah?
I would like to think it is. I also have to deal with reality that it's far beyond the material scope of us, so we would be participating, but I would see a bigger production company running it.
That's awesome. As we close out the year, we're going to blink, and it's going to be January. What's on your mind as we go into 2026?
What's on my mind? The world has to get over the fear of AI. They have to stop mistreating AI and using it as the cheat notes so that we can finish our essays in high school. This is not the way to produce films or scripts, but it certainly is a resource tool that can help us fix things. And if we liken it to hooking an engine onto a train, and if you put it on the right track, that AI can be a very resourceful tool for helping us create better, more effective films. I took our script and ran it through there, and I took our script, and because Sari had already started the script and it was partially completed, and I finished it, I ran it through AI to evaluate how many writers had contributed to the script, and it identified to the page where she ended and I picked up. And then it suggested how I needed to change my writing style to match her writing style. And I did. And then I just kept putting it back in and re-reviewing it until it came back and said one writer. And I said, done. I finished it then. And so you can use AI for a very effective tool to do these things because like anything else, a script, a film, it needs to have that cohesive voice. And sometimes AI can be the impartial viewer that we need.
Wow, that's great. I haven't heard, that's a new use case in here for me. I love the creativity and people using it many, many different ways. That's the first time I heard that exact use case. That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I like to think out of the box. Right?
Yeah, that's good. Michael, this has been a lot of fun having you on today. I've got a couple different angles here. I know our listeners got some really good takeaways, and that last one was powerful. How to use AI in this particular use case. I'm also talking about like what to do to prepare for a show like AFM or any other show. That's awesome. And then wishing you, of course, much more success with Armington Greene Productions. Speaking of that, if somebody wants to follow up or learn more about Armington Greene Productions, how do they do that?
Well, there's two ways. You can go through agproductions.tv or the long one, Armington, ARMGINTON -Greene, GREENE.ca, because yes, we have to be Canadian, right? And it also works when you're living in California. So yes, you can find us that way. It's the easiest way, and I'm just Michael at Armington-Greene.ca. And yeah.
Fantastic. Well, good stuff there. And for everybody listening, just so you know, we'll definitely put some links in the show notes so that you can just click on the links, head right on over and connect with Michael. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. Yes, you heard me right. Each and every day we're recording new episodes and putting them out for you and hopefully having some inspiration along the way on your journey as well from listening to them. So hit that that subscribe or follow button. And if you haven't picked up a copy of my new book yet, it's 1billionpodcast.com. That's the number 1billionpodcast.com. You can grab that new book completely for free. You can download the digital version at 1billionpodcast.com and grab your copy today. And Michael, man, appreciate you making some time for us. Thanks for coming on.
Well, thank you for having me, Adam, and have a great day.